Oh, it is that time of the year again. I am so excited. It is time for E3. We are all hyped. We can all feel the hype. And I'm just here to talk to you guys real quick about what to expect from the big three, and that is Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft. All right, so let's start off talking about Nintendo. I think Nintendo has one of the most anticipated games, and that's this guy right here, and that's Super Mario Odyssey. They announced this at the Switch conference, and I think everybody's eagerly anticipating this game. It's the first Mario in a while that's not going to be, straight level based. They went back to their roots for a while, like back to the original Super Mario Brothers. Hey, this is level 1-1, level 1-2, and you make your way through. But this, clearly it looks different. We're going back to our GameCube, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario 64 roots, and we have this big open world to explore, and it'll be interesting to see how they divide that up. Super Mario 64 had the paintings, and then Sunshine had all the different islands and stuff that you went to. So I think there'll be something in this that does that. But again, I'm just excited that we have a open world Super Mario again. A nice 3D platforming Super Mario, and it's something to be excited about. So at E3 this year, I'm really hoping that we get at least a release date for this game. And other than that, though, I don't really know what to expect from Nintendo. You have Splatoon 2, ARMS, all these different little games coming out. None of them bring the excitement that I think Super Mario Odyssey does. I'm not expecting them to drop like any huge new games, because honestly they don't need to. They're Nintendo. They have all these first party games that everybody gets excited for. Just you have Mario on this game, people want it. And E3's never really seemed to be a big priority for Nintendo in the first place, right? Last year all they showed was Breath of the Wild. That's all they needed to show. But it seems that they take kind of a backseat at E3. They don't necessarily push as much as some like Sony and Microsoft do. So it'll be interesting to see what Nintendo does. But overall, I'm hoping, for the most part, we see a release date for this game, Super Mario Odyssey. And I'm hoping it's around Christmas, but we'll see. Beyond that, who knows from Nintendo. All right, let's talk about Microsoft. Microsoft has both kind of an opportunity and a problem. And it's kind of in this video right here. I had no idea what game to pick to show, representative of Microsoft. That's because they have, no IPs that are, out that I'm super excited about. You're always going to have rumors of the next Halo and whatnot. But there's nothing really, it's the opposite of Nintendo, where Nintendo has Mario, right? Everybody's pumped for Mario. Microsoft doesn't have that. And they have another problem, which I think you're going to see right here on the screen in a second, and that's every single game that they are releasing and announcing comes up with this little message that you can't really see it in there at the bottom, but it says you can play it on Xbox or you can play it on Windows 10, right? That kind of eliminates the need to get an Xbox, right? And everything I've heard is that this E3 for Microsoft is going to be the Scorpio show, right? We're going to unveil this Scorpio system that you're all going to love. But if every single game you're putting out on it, I can just play on PC as well, there's no real need for me to go get that system. There's a reason, even though the Switch is underpowered, right? People still go and buy the Switch because Mario is on the Switch. I cannot play Mario anywhere else besides a Nintendo console. And Xbox, Microsoft just does not have that. And it's a real big, I think it's a big disadvantage right now. Now, you could look at it in the positive. The slate's clear. You could drop some bombs at this E3 and get people super hyped. And expectations for that reason are low. But my fear is that Microsoft's just going to come out and say, hey, here's this new console. It's got all these specs. There it is. Xbox One and Windows 10 exclusive, right? It's got all these specs. It's fantastic. But why do I need it? Why do I need it when I have all these other options with these IPs that I actually want to play, right? So for me, I need to see Microsoft hit me with some games, right? And it's the thing Sony's been doing the past couple years. where they just drop a game, hey, boom, get everybody excited and everybody buys in. And Xbox really hasn't done that to this point. And I don't think Halo is the answer. I don't think dropping Halo 6 or 7 or 15, whatever Halo we're on, is going to get people going, yes, I have to get a Scorpio. So it'll be interesting to see what Microsoft does. I think they're in a unique situation compared to Sony and Nintendo. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do. Alright, so lastly we come to Sony. Sony has been the undisputed king of E3 for probably the past 3 years. Everything they've done, they've dropped these games, God of War right here, huge unveiling. They've gotten the hype train rolling, and they've dominated E3, let's be honest. The issue I take with Sony at this point, and it's not really entirely Sony's fault, and a lot of it falls on Square Enix, I think. We've got 2 games that Sony has revealed at E3 that both they're not in sight, right? And those 2 that I'm talking about are Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy VII Remake. And there's news that's dropped recently that, hey, those games are, we could see those games in the next 3 years, right? And that's not entirely on Sony, right? Because, Square Enix, they're notorious for, taking forever on stuff. But, these are 2 huge games that were presented at your conference. It's kind of disappointing to hear that we may not see those 2 at all at this year's E3. That being said, there are games Sony's going to show, right? This God of War, there's a giant God of War billboard going outside of E3 right now. I'm fully expecting to see some more of this game. Hopefully we'll get a release date for God of War. In addition to God of War, you got several other games that are coming out. Days Gone, which again is zombies. Who knows, it might be exciting, may not be too exciting, depending on what you're going to be playing. But then Last of Us 2, also zombies, but I am much more hyped for The Last of Us Part 2 as opposed to Days Gone. So I've heard that a lot of mo capture has been going on for Last of Us 2. Super excited to see that one, and then who knows what else Sony's got planned. But my real hope for Sony is that we see some more of these games that have been promised over the last several years. It's kind of time for Sony, like, you've hyped me. You've gotten me going these last 3 years. Now show me what I'm in store for, right? Don't pull a Microsoft, and cancel your game that you've hyped everybody up for, that Dragon game. I can't remember what the name is off the top of my head. Hey, here's this game, then cancel it. Okay, so I'm really hoping we see some more of these games, and any surprises that come from Sony besides that, I'll be ready to go. But Sony, again, last 3 years has been phenomenal at E3. They've limited the talking, and they've just shown games, and I'm hoping that stays true again this year. Alright, so E3 is this weekend, guys. Join me on Twitch. I will be streaming it live. I'm going to have all the reactions that we're going to see. Hopefully we'll see another game like this, Death Stranding there. Get some actual gameplay, hopefully. But check me out on Twitch. I'm Buckeye734. We'll be watching it all weekend. I'd love for you to come in and chat, and we can react to the games together. So I hope you guys have an awesome E3, and I'll see you on the other side.